The Republic Act number 10173 or the Data Privacy Act of 2021 states that the state recognizes the vital role of information and communications technology in nation building and its inherent obligation to ensure that personal information in information and communication systems in the government and in the private sector are secured and protected. This afternoon, we shall be engaging to another meaningful learning session. Magandang hapon po. My name is Chris Norman P. Olipas, a faculty member from the College of Information and Communications Technology of the Nueva Ecija University of Science and Technology, your moderator for today's webinar. We hope that you are all safe and healthy. Amidst the pandemic that we are experiencing now, we continue to improve, innovate, and find means to learn new things because we believe that learning is a continuous process, and no matter what the situation we may face, we can still learn. As Alvin Toffler once wrote, the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. So this afternoon, we shall engage in a new learning experience where we will learn new things, unlearn old stuff, and relearn essential and valuable insights and knowledge. Welcome to the Cybersecurity Awareness webinar organized by the Department of Information and Communications Technology together with the Nueva Ecija University of Science and Technology. We thank the DICT Cluster 2 and the University Training Department for this activity. Friends, the objectives of this webinar are as follows. As part of the implementation of the fourth pillar of the National Cybersecurity Plan 2022 or the NCSP, which is the protection of each individual, this webinar aims to level of awareness of the public on the importance of cybersecurity and educate, empower, and protect the individuals in cyberspace. Now, we are giving to you the guidelines and reminders but before we formally start with our learning session. Please be reminded for the following reminders and guidelines, especially those of you who are joining live via Google Meet, and we also recognize and acknowledge our participants in our YouTube live stream. Aside from our participants, mga registered participants from Central Luzon, we also have participants coming from the Quezon Province, from the Rizal Province, from Zamboanga, from Davao, from Capiz, from Camarines Sur, and from Marinduque and other parts of the country. We encourage you to please use the comment section in the live stream to send in or comment down your names and the institutions where you are connected or part, especially those students who will be joining us for our Cybersecurity Awareness webinar. So first up, this webinar po is recorded for documentation purposes and will be posted on YouTube and Facebook. We also shared it in our Facebook accounts. Please turn off your microphone and camera and do not share your screen or do any annotations. Please observe proper decorum and etiquette, as well as use the chat box for those of you who are joining in the Google Meet, and also the Q&A form flash on the screen. Yun po, nakikita nyo pong link kayon sa mga naka-join po sa atin sa Google Meet. Please use the Q&A form so that after the session, we will be collecting those questions and then we will try to ask sa ating resource speaker maya-maya. Also, for the certificate will be given for those participants who will complete the webinar and who will successfully answer the post-evaluation form. Mamaya po may i-share po sa comment section na attendance link and also some free pre-assessment survey. And please input valid and active email address when filling out the post-evaluation form. The cut-off time will be tomorrow at 4 p.m. catch the live replay para sa mga team replay sa ating official YouTube channel, yung nakikita nyo po sa inyong screen ngayon. Now, the attendance form para sa session na ito ay nakapost na po sa ating comment section. And sa mga nagpa-participate po sa ating YouTube live stream, makikita nyo rin po sa comment section or yung naka-flash po ngayon sa inyong screen, that is the link for the attendance form. Now, let us see and learn more about the mandate and function of the Department of Information and Communications Technology. Friends, the Department of Information and Communications Technology shall be the primary policy, planning, coordinating, implementing, and the administrative entity of the executive branch of the government that will plan, develop, and promote the national ICT development agenda. Here are some of the programs and projects na nararanasan at na-experience na po ng karamihan sa atin because of these projects ng DICT. We have the free Wi-Fi for all. We also have the National Cybersecurity Plan and the Philippine National Public Key Infrastructure. Flash on your screen are the other programs and projects initiated by the DICT and kinakonduct na po or ginagawa na po sa iba't ibang munisipyo, sa iba't ibang parte ng ating bansa. Now, let us learn more about the mandate and function of our university, the Nueva Ecija University of Science and Technology. To primarily provide advanced instruction, professional training in arts, science and technology, education, and other related fields, undertake research and extension services, and provide progressive leadership in these areas, and to offer graduate, undergraduate, and short-term technical courses within areas of specialization and considering the needs of the province, the region, and the country. Now, you will see also there, flashing your screen, some of the programs and projects. We have here the Metal Innovation Center, the soon-to-rise Techno Hub, and in partnership with the ICT and the local government unit, we also have the Community Learning Resource Centers, in which Ma'am Ruth Ann Santos is the head of the Community Learning Resource and Innovation Center of the university. So yun po ang ilan sa mga programa at proyekto ng ating pamantasan. Now for the opening remarks, let us hear a message from our director. Let us welcome Engineer Reynaldo T.C.
Natutuwa kami at nakikita namin na binibigyan na ng kahalagaan ang ligtas na pag-internet. With this COVID-19 pandemic, talagang na-process ang paggamit ng ICT at internet. Mula umaga hanggang gabi ang computer na karamihan sa atin. Hindi na tayo. Pati ating mga kabataan, lalong-lalo ng mga estudyante. Dahil na siguro sa online classes na ni-post ng DepEd at CHED. However, it also increases the risk of cyber attack and even cyberbullying sa ating mga estudyante. Hindi talaga natin maiwasan na may mag-take advantage ng ICT for their own purposes. Nandiyan ang hacking, phishing, ransomware, identity theft, and even viruses. Even yung pag-hijack ng mga devices like automatic na nakaka-capture ng pictures and videos without us knowing it. That's why most companies are strictly imposing and implementing cybersecurity protocol, like setting up firewalls, strict virus updates, and even pag-whitelist ng mga website na pwede puntahan ng mga kanilang staff. And even to the point na pagbawal ng mga input devices like USB and storage devices. However, even the most secured network, there's still possibility na ma-compromise pa yung network. Madalas, nakalimutan ng security protocol At meron pa mga nag-VPN para makaiwas sa mga blacklisted site. The bad part is, kung na-compromise ang isa, halos kakalat sa network at makakompromise na ang lahat. Kaya at least, not only COVID pandemic, but also at least of cyber pandemic that could wreak havoc to our system and also to our personal devices. Hindi dahil may internet, ay click ka na lang ng click, especially pag nasa public internet. This is the reason why we are here today. We need to inform the public on the effect of cyber attack and cybercrime. Because all of us are at risk. We need to be vigilant and mindful of what we are doing in the cyber landscape. We should be on guard of what we are doing, especially if we are online. We hope that after this webinar, we can all be totally confident and safe in exploring the cyber landscape. Be informed, be safe. Think before you click. Good afternoon, everyone.
Thank you so much, Director Ray, for the opening remarks. Sabi nga ni Director, think before you click. Now, before we further proceed with the introduction to our resource speaker, we'd like to greet everyone. A pleasant afternoon sa mga estudyante joining us live via YouTube. Yung mga kasama natin dito sa Google Meet, yung mga estudyante natin, shout out sa inyong lahat. Magandang hapon. Please use the comment section to introduce yourself, say your name, your course, kung anong year level na kayo, kung anong eskwelahan kayo galing. Magandang hapon, and we hope that you will be learning more about cybersecurity sa session natin ngayon, especially yung mga under the computing disciplines. And also special mention sa ating mga estudyante dito sa NEUST. Good afternoon po sa mga estudyante galing sa iba't ibang campuses, sa mga off-campuses. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome sa ating cybersecurity webinar. And we look forward for your active participation, and sana mula simula hanggang dulo magkakasama tayo na matututo ngayong hapon na ito. We also acknowledge other participants, our participants from the different parts of the country. Good afternoon po, and welcome to our Cybersecurity Awareness webinar. Now, allow me to introduce to you the resource speaker for today's session. Our resource speaker is a registered electronics and communications engineer from the University of Santo Tomas. She has 14 years of professional experience in field of telecommunication and technology, with skills focused on project implementation management, pre-sales engineering, and consulting. Before joining the government, she worked in the private sector as customer solutions engineer and configuration management specialist, conceptualizing project proposals for network design expansion, managing last mile build out, and system integration installation to clients. She joined the government as an Information Technology Officer 1 of the then DOST ICTO or the DICT in 2016, and held various concurrent roles as OIC Provincial Head of Nueva Ecija, Regional Project Focal for Electronic Business Permits and Licensing System, and Regional Project Focal for Philippine National Public Key Infrastructure. Currently, she is the Information Technology Officer 1 of the Critical Infrastructure Evaluation and Cybersecurity Standards Monitoring Division of the Department of Information and Communications Technology Cybersecurity Bureau. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome Engineer Maria Sinag P. Abello.
Hello, good morning. Good afternoon to everyone who's watching the live stream and the webinar through the Google Meet. So, by the way, I'm Sinag Abello. I'll be the resource speaker for today. And Mr. Chris Olipan, thank you for your wonderful introduction. You may call me Sinag na lang. So let's stop the formalities because we would like to have this webinar na chill lang, and kasi not all of my presentation will be coming from the computing side of the things. So marami sa atin ngayon probably watching this webinar, they are studying in the disciplines of yung sa computing, engineering, and technical whatsoever. But being aware of the cyber threats nowadays is it's not technically terms in technically, parang hindi siya technically talaga. Kasi most of the time, all of those threats are usually on a human side kasi yung mga na-experience natin mga threats. So, let me share to you my screen for my presentation. So, I hope everybody can see my presentation now. Could you please confirm it na lang?
Yes po, yes po.
So, yun, dun sa introduction ninyo, I was formerly the OIC provincial head of Nueva Ecija. That's why Nueva Ecija is really close to my heart. Lalo na ngayon, on my tour of duty for the Cybersecurity Bureau, we have some partnership with NEUST, and I feel that we, on my term as an OIC provincial head of Nueva Ecija, we have forged many partnership with NEUST. Sabi nga natin with Sir Chris kanina, dun sa mga CLRC, Tech for Ed centers natin, it would not be possible to expand those Tech for Ed centers without NEUST help. So we would like to thank the NEUST management for that, especially with Dr. Moralde and Dr. Ma'am Vic Villegas of the Research Extension Training Division or Department po. No? And then I would like also to acknowledge yung mga kasama natin from the DICT Luzon Cluster 2, headed by our Regional Director, Reynaldo TC, as well as those who are doing the work for the Ecija, si Engineer Carlo Tolentino, and then si JR Chico, and from the Cybersecurity Bureau. I would like also to acknowledge yung presence ni Miss Diane Faustino. So, okay, so yun lang. Thank you very much. So, about this sa ating discussion for today, it's more about all of the awareness lang po. So, even before na hindi pa tayo pumapasok sa new normal, we are still experiencing yung mga cyber threats. Pero mas lumala lang ngayon because everybody is forced to work online nowadays. So, dahil doon, napilitan din tayong i-level up yung ating mga how do we do things online. So, and then, of course, leveling up yung ating how do we do things online. There are also cyber threats na nagle-level up din sila. So, most likely sinasabayan nila tayo, if not, baka inuunahan pa nila tayo. So, with this, may mga nakuha kaming mga statistics from Hootsuite, VR Social Data. This statistics is from January 2021. Kung makikita natin, on the Philippine setting, so, ang device ownership natin here in the Philippines with the internet users is tumaas siya. So, dun sa laptop and desktop computers. So kung makikita ninyo, it's worth pointing out that from the 2020 statistics, from the 2020 statistics, January din, the laptop or desktop computers na ino-own ng mga persons from the internet users is around 67% only. So nag-increase na siya into around 10%. As well as worth pointing out that the tablet devices, they have also increased as well. So from the, I think the 2020 statistics, they have increased mga 15%. If I could get the statistics, pero lahat yan nag-increase. At makikita ninyo na for the age of 16 to 64, 77% of them owns a laptop, 98% of them owns a smartphone. And then tumaas din yung mga ownership natin with the TV streaming sticks or devices. So last year it was single digit, but now umabot na siya sa double digit. Also with the smart home devices, nagiging popular na rin siya. So not much hindi naman siya not much tinaas, pero significantly tinitignan din natin tong percentage na to kasi in the future we expect that this smart home devices ownership will be increasing as well. Okay. So next slide is this is also a statistics on the daily time that spent on media. So all the internet users, they spend at least 10 hours or 11 hours using the internet. So half of our lives, nakababad tayo sa internet. Lalo na ngayon na nagkaroon tayo ng pandemic, lahat tayo force tayo magtrabaho online, even the online schooling, forced din sila spend ng time through the internet. So most of the time, kukunukuha natin yung online schooling natin or yung trabaho natin online, gumagamit tayo ng internet. So it's parang, hindi naman alarming, pero it's worth noting that almost half of our lives in a day, nakababad tayo sa internet. Of those 11 hours, 12 hours that we spend on internet, ang time spent natin watching television or broadcast or streaming is around 3 hours and 30 minutes. So 3.5 hours ang inaano natin. Ang ginugugol natin na oras para manood ng mga live, mga streaming, mga YouTube video, Netflix, what else? Siguro I1 TV. So, and then 4 hours of that 11 hours that we spend on internet, it is spent using the social media. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, what else? So siguro yun na yung maraming users, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or what else? Basta yun yung pinaka-top social media ano natin ngayon. And then probably worth pointing out as well that yung music streaming services natin like Spotify, we usually spend around 2 hours for that. So siguro on a pag chill na yung ano natin, mag-aano na tayo within the day, gusto lang natin mag-relax. So we usually spend 2 hours a day dun sa mga streaming services na yan. Okay. So ito naman, the top websites by traffic according to SEMrush, SimilarWeb, and they are a CEO, CEO company. So they're search engine optimization companies. So makikita natin yung traffic ng Philippines. Ito yung mga top websites na binivisit natin. So worth pointing out that the top website is google.com for SEMrush. Also Facebook, YouTube, Wikipedia. Medyo ano lang, may Pornhub din. And then, kung makikita ninyo, when we look closely below, nandyan si Lazada, nandyan si Instagram, nandyan din si Shopee. For the gamers, mga kids natin or the young at heart, meron din roblox.com. So, pumupunta rin sila dyan. Also, when we get our information through news, so nandyan si ABS-CBN, nandyan si Inquirer.net. WordPoint, ito naman, ang statistics naman to from the SimilarWeb. So, it's another search engine optimization company. So, makikita niyo the top 5 websites is Google, Facebook, YouTube. So, halos katulad siya ng statistics from SEMrush. Also worth pointing out na nasa top 20 natin is nandito si Shopee, Instagram, Lazada. So nakikita niyo na yung trend na not only nagsistream lang tayo or gumagamit lang tayo ng social media, nagre-research din tayo, nakikita din natin yung activity ng mga tao na they are also engaged in online shopping. So, nandiyan si Shopee, nandiyan si Lazada. Also, sa SimilarWeb, meron na-capture niya na meron tayong Netflix.com. Also, Zoom. So, kasi nga dahil we are forced to work online. So, tumaas din nag-spike yung traffic to Zoom. Okay. This one is top website naman, traffic by kay Alexa naman. This is a Amazon company. So may kita nyo na naman, ang top 5 natin is YouTube, Google, YouTube, Facebook. Pero sumama sa kanya yung information or news outlets natin like Inquirer and ABS-CBN. And then makikita nyo naman at the top 8, top 9, meron na naman tayo mga online shopping like Shopee, Lazada, streaming services like yung sa Netflix. And then Zoom, nandyan din siya. Amazon because si Alexa is part of an Amazon. So talagang may capture siya na Amazon. And then meron din tayong mga gaming websites, Reddit is a forum, and then I think this Bonga Camps is mga porn sites din yan. So nakikita natin yung activity or yung behavior ng mga tao when using the internet. So sabi na natin, data is more valuable than oil and is most expensive asset in the world. So if you have watched sa Netflix yung The Social Dilemma, I hope nakita niyo yung documentary na yun. It says that we as a users, hindi tayo yung we are not buying the commodity, but we are the commodity. So, ang sinasabi nun, the advertisers get our data and then di ba sa mga Facebook natin, pag nagsisearch tayo, nakikita ninyo na parang every search natin or may behaviors kasi tayo na pinapakita. So, ano ba yung and then nag-i-inject sila ng advertisement to buy their product. So, ganun yung nangyayari sa kanya. So, wag naman sana binibenta, pero kinukuha nila yung data natin. Those advertisers, they get our data to press a button para mag-trigger tayo na bumili ng ganitong service or ganitong product. So I hope everybody will be able to see you or will be able to watch yung The Social Dilemma on Netflix. Marami kayong matututunan doon about data security and how Facebook or how social media works. So, yeah. So, because of that, di ba, sabi nga natin, may mga attacks na tayo na nararamdaman. And then, we are the commodity. So, hindi natin maiiwasan na mawalan or magkaroon ng mga cyber attacks. Sabi ko nga kanina, when nag-shift tayo online, nakita natin na kaya naman pala natin. Pero, mas kaya rin ng mga threat actors na bigyan tayo ng attack. So, mangyayari doon is kailangan dapat aware tayo dun sa mga scrupulous activities din nila. So, siguro bigyan ko na lang kayo ng mga at least top cyber attacks na according to isaka.org. I can only name 3 kasi yung marami talaga siya dun sa isaka.org na cyber attacks. So, if you are familiar with the Finanstra ransomware attack, Finanstra is a world largest fintech bank. So, if you're kung familiar kayo sa mga fintech industries, sila yung nag-GCash, sila yung mga nag-pay Maya. Dito sa Philippines, maraming fintech industries ang nagsusulputan. So, one of them, ito is on a world perspective. So, Finastra is a third largest fintech bank with around 9,000 customers all over the 130 countries. So, they have detected last April, they have detected a ransomware attack on their servers. So, luckily, this organization or this company were able to contain yung ransomware attack nila. Paano ba nila ginawa yun? May mga backup kasi ang mga servers nila. So, ang gawain ng ransomware attack is, di ba, ini-encrypt niya yung mga files ninyo para, kung wala ka ng access doon, magde-demand sila ng money. So ngayon, how did they do it? Kasi through backing up their files, na-restore nila yung mga information nila, yung mga pertinent information nila. So hindi sila ng ransomware attack. Also, we'll give credit na lang din dun sa mga people working for Finanstra dahil complete yung mga documents din nila. So, it's very important, lalo na when mag-ano ka ng incident response. So, dapat lahat ng documents mo is all intact. Also, probably siguro kayo, din kayo dito, no? Familiar din kayo. Yung, nung nagkaroon ng pandemic, di ba na-force tayo magtrabaho online. So, ano ba yung pinaka-most popular video conferencing tool, which is, yun nga, Zoom. And hindi rin siguro naging familiar din sa inyo na yung ibang users ng Zoom is medyo ina-attack din sila. Like, for example, probably familiar kayo doon sa incident na nangyari with the media conference ni Vico Soto sa Pasig, 'di ba? Kausap niya ang isang media outlet and then through Zoom and then bigla na lang may pumasok dun sa room nila na nakahubad na tao. Kaya 'di ba natigilan sila. So dahil doon, bakit kasi nangyari doon? Because yung Zoom app, hindi siya popular at that time, hindi pa pandemic, pero meron na siyang poor encryption services. So, dahil doon, nag-hire si Zoom ng mga cybersecurity engineers or experts para to harden their systems. So, I think mas nag-employ sila ngayon ng mas malakas na encryption services. Okay. And then, third, ito ay pinaka-latest sa mga naging attacks ngayon, yung SolarWinds. If you are familiar with the SolarWinds, these are the supply chain systems or management na tawag dito, marami kasing gumagamit kasi nito. So, from one supplier to another, and then meron ka manufacturing side, lahat yun, nakakonect sila dun sa isang system. Not knowingly na may nakapasok pala dun at may nag-lurk sila as early as 2019, may nag-lurk na malware doon. Tapos, saka na lang siya nag-blow up. Itong SolarWinds, ito yung madalas na ginagamit na case study ngayon for the cybersecurity expert on how to harden those systems sa ICS. When we say ICS, yung industrial control system, mga operation technology, and also as well as yung sa IT systems din natin. Sa ngayon, wala pa akong balita or wala pa akong update regarding kung paano nila na-contain yung attack with the SolarWinds. Pero ang sinasabi sa mga news is that this kind of attacks is parang ka-level niya na yung espionage. So when we say espionage, parang may nation backed up by nation na siya na attacks. So mamaya later on we'll discuss who are these actors and those threats din, kung ano yung weapon of choice nila. Okay. So sabi nga natin, it's not a question, the question is not pala if you're going to be the victim, but when are you going to be a victim? Kumbaga parang sa incident management or kasi it's a never-ending process. It's always cyclical. Even though you have contained this malware, these ransomwares, pero at the end of that, magkakaroon kayo ng post-activity para makapag-prepare na naman kayo dun sa mga another attacks na mangyayari. Maybe yung sa mga attacks na yun, ganun pa din siya or baka nag-level up na siya. So, it's a never-ending process. So, cyclical siya. So, hindi siya nagtatanong kung sino yung mabibiktima, pero kung kailan kayo mabibiktima. Okay. So, moving forward, cybersecurity. So, ano ba yung cybersecurity? So, kinuha ko yung definition ng cybersecurity sa ITOU. Actually, this definition is also nakalagay din siya sa National Cybersecurity Plan of 2022. Ito yung kinuha nating definition. So, the cybersecurity is the collection of tools, policies, security concepts, security safeguards, guidelines, risk management approaches, actions, training, best practices, assurance, and technologies that can be used to protect the cyber environment and the organization and user asset. So, ang haba ng definition niya, no? Pero ang tinatanong lang naman dyan is, ito yung mga process para ma-secure mo yung iyong data. Okay. Okay, so next slide. I'm sorry, yun. So, sabi na natin, kung nabasa niyo yung book about Sun Tzu, The Art of War, ang unang-unang unang-unang idea doon is you have to know your enemy to be able to protect yourself. So sabi nga natin, the first step in protecting is in the cyberspace is to know what you are protecting yourself from. So you have to know your enemy on the cyberspace. Just like yung sinasabi nga ni Sun Tzu na pag mag-engage ka sa war, you have to know your enemy. Kasi doon mo makikita kung saan yung weakness niya and how can you protect yourself from it. So, ito, some of the definitions. So, ang cyber attack, deliberate exploitation of computer systems, technology-dependent enterprises and networks. They use malicious code to alter computer code, logic, or data, resulting in disruptive consequence that can compromise data and lead to cybercrime such as information and identity theft. So, dito, sabi nga natin is gumagamit siya ng exploitation on the computer systems. May mga malicious codes like the malwares. And then, how do you get, sometimes social engineering, how do you get those para makapasok ka dun sa isang system? So, yun yung nagiging, that leads to the cybercrime na information and identity theft. But sometimes, this cyber attacks, hindi lang kasi siya identity theft, information, may underlying factors din siya na pwede rin mag-lead to a cyber warfare. But we're not going to dive into those details anymore. So sabi nga natin kanina, kailangan dapat maprotektahan natin yung mga sarili natin through this cyber threat actors. Sabihin ko po sa inyo na these cyber criminals, wala kasi silang muka, pero meron silang behavior na pina-perform. So, okay. So, going back dun sa ating presentation. So, may cyber threat actors tayo. So, I have listed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cyber threat actors. No? So, probably, tignan natin kung ano yung mga, how massive is their damage, no? So ito, number 1 is yung internal user errors. These are actors that not malicious in nature, pero they could cause damage to the system that can be very massive. Let's say, for example, these are the employees na, let's say, in a power sector, these are the employees na nag-ooperate ng mga substations natin, mga SCADA natin. And then, may nagkamali lang yung employee na yon. May napatay siya na hindi sinasadyang napatay niya yung isang computer. And then, nung napatay niya yung computer na yon, nag-trip lahat ng mga switches para mag-off yung mga grids natin. So, pwede kasi siyang maging threat because massive yung kanyang magiging damage in nature. So, pag wala tayong kuryente, di ba, pag nawalan tayo ng kuryente, wala tayong internet, di tayo makapagtrabaho, di tayo makapag-aral, maiinitan tayo, some of our businesses probably masira din. So, yun yung massive damage na makukuha na mangyayari sa mga internal, yung mga konting user errors lang na to. And then, number 2, we have script kiddies. These are not skilled hackers, but probably siguro in terms of the discipline ng mga computer science, computer engineering students natin. Di ba pag nag-aral kayo, nagtatry tayo ng maraming paraan para lang matuto tayo. So some of the script kiddies, may nakukuha silang mga codes from the GitHub. And then, tinatry natin na i-run just to find out paano ba siya magre-react or ano ba yung magiging effect niya dun sa ginagawa nating system. So, sometimes, yung mga nadadownload sa GitHub is that minsan the codes are malicious, pero pwede siya mag-cause ng damage din sa mga devices natin. So, this script kiddies, paalala ko na lang din mga students natin na when we're trying some codes, kailangan sana magkaroon tayo ng virtual environment para lang hindi maapektuhan yung ibang nakakonect din sa network. So, yun po. Number 3, these are the insiders. So, these are insider bombers na parang tinawag ko na inside bombers to the organization or system. Sometimes kasi, these insiders, they are the employees that they would like to vandal yung mga assets ng isang kumpanya. Just because siguro di niya nagustuhan yung kumpanya, paalis na siya, binandal niya yung mga tawag dito, yung mga assets ng company. So probably they steal the asset, and then tawag dito, ginulo niya lahat ng mga files. So yun yung ano niya, somehow may threat din siya kasi sabi nga natin on responding on an incident, kailangan dapat kasi may mga backup tayo and dapat intact yung mga documents din natin. Okay. Number 4 is the hacktivists. These are motivated by ideological activism. So these cyber threat actors, ang gusto lang naman nila is magyabang na, oy, nakapasok ako sa system ni ganito, ganyan. Wala naman talaga silang gustong mangyari, unlike the organized cyber criminals that they would like to steal money, but they would like to parang they would like to have yung mga parang ano lang, yabang factor lang talaga. Pero sometimes these activists, there are underlying political may mga political motives din sila. So banda lang, parang hindi naman nila gusto kumuha ng data, pero para lang malaman or para lang na magaling sila at mahina yung system mo kasi nakapasok sila doon. Yun lang ang gusto nilang patunayan. Okay. And then number 5 is yung organized crime, yung mga cyber criminals. Ito yung talaga yung mga criminals na they wanted to steal sensitive data for their financial gain. So these are para lang kunwari, sila yung mga madalas na gumamit ng mga ransomware attacks kasi they wanted na kumuha ng money para to further financial gain. Okay? And then, sometimes, kung hindi man sila makakuha ng financial gain, the data that they have gathered, they could sold it via dark web markets. So medyo nagiging delikado tayo dito sa mga nagpo-post na, or these threat actors na nagpo-post as cyber criminals. And lastly, these are the state-sponsored threat actors. These are funded, directed, or sponsored by nature. Sometimes, ito na yung parang pinaka-malala because cyber warfare na ang hanap nila. So, yun nga, tawag dito, cyber warfare, and also ang motibo nila is magkaroon ng cyber espionage. So, okay. Right. So, ito yung mga common cyber threats naman nila. So, kung meron tayong cyber actors, ito yung parang tinatawag natin na weapon of choice nila. So, let's see, siguro tignan ko yung sa chat. Tignan ko muna kung nandyan pa ba kayo, kung nakikinig pa kayo sa presentation natin. So, given those 6 cyber threat actors na present ko earlier, ano sa tingin ninyo ang weapon of choice ni cyber criminals dito sa common cyber threat attack, cyber threats na to? So sige, kung pwede kayo mag-chat, you may do so para lang makita natin. So, let's say ang sabi ko is mga cyber criminals, ano yung mga weapon of choice nila. So sabi ni Mr. Paulo, may mga malwares daw yung weapon of choice nila. How about the others? So I think parang So ito, malwares, yes, tama ka doon. Phishing, meron pa palang phishing. So hacking, malwares. Actually, there are several methods naman din. Pero the most likely, yung mga cybercriminals nga, if they're going to get yung weapon of choice nila, it is the ransomware. Kasi nga, they would like to gain financial gains dun sa act na ginawa nila. So, these are the common cyber threats. Malware, it's malicious software intended to damage or disable computers and computer system. Probably, this will be a weapon of choice for the state-sponsored attacks din. Pwede rin kay cybercriminals, kay hacktivists, pwede rin siya, kay ano pa ba yung hacktivists, then si inside bombers kasi they're employees kasi sila that they have parang pwede silang it's a matter of an HR issue kasi doon yung mga non-malicious and HR issues. Hacking, probably pwede na rin dito the same, sila hacktivists, si activist, si cybercriminal, and then state-sponsored, pwede rin siya. Social engineering, pwede rin I think pwede rin dito script kiddies. Kasi sometimes when we download yung mga resources from the GitHub, meron yung mga unauthorized access. Let's say, nag-run ka ng script or of some sort, meron din dun somehow. Social engineering, I think this will be on the level of the kids' duties. Kasi sometimes, kunwari, parang papasukin mo lang yung isang system, kailangan humanap ka ng paraan paano siya papasukin. So sometimes yung mga routers natin, the routers that the telcos have been installed in our homes, minsan di natin binabago. Yung mga settings nun, like yung mga username and passwords nun, na search siya sa internet. So please be wary about it kasi pwede kasing mangyari yun. Like yung mga default username and passwords. Let's say, papasukin mo ang isang CCTV camera at kung hindi masyado maingat yung nag-set up nun, the default pa rin, pwede niya mapasok yun. So, yun yung one way of parang social engineering cyber threat kung paano siya nangyayari. So, sometimes, phishing, yung psychological manipulations, I hope some of you have watched yung video ni Jimmy Kimmel. They ask random people sa street paano niya kung ano yung password nila, and some of the people that they have asked dun sa street, they're willing victims kasi binigay nila kagad without even practicing discretion or parang magtanong bakit kailangan mo yung password. Parang somehow sa manner ng pagtatanong na sunod-sunod, kasi gusto lang nila mag-create ng conversation. Pero not knowingly that those victims, binibigay na nila yung information na hindi naman dapat nila ibigay. So, yun yung one way of one threats, social engineering. Hindi siya technical, pero karamihan ng mga threats is done via social engineering. Okay. Moving forward, okay pa ba kayo? So, these are the other cyber threats. Sabi nga natin, yung ransomware, it's a subset of malware which the data or a victim computers is locked, typically by encryption. So, in-encrypt niya yung mga data, and then they demand payment para decrypt and ma-return yung access dun sa victim. So sometimes, merong mga ransomware dyan, if you have heard of NotPetya, I think this is parang yung attack niya is a ransomware, pero it is a wiperware pala. So when we say wiperware, instead of decrypting yung mga data na yun, dinidelete niya yung mga data. So yun yung masakit no, na nagbayad ka na nga to decrypt the data, and then yun pala, mawawala din pala silang lahat. So yun yung about dun sa wiperware. And then number 2 is a man-in-the-middle attack. So this attack is when an attacker intercepts the communications between two parties, either secretly eavesdrop or modify traffic traveling these two. So I have a video about the man-in-the-middle attack. Would like to play it para lang maging aware tayo on how the hackers do yung ating tawag dito yung how does yung man-in-the-middle attack works. So let me stop sharing, and then I'm gonna present again. So I hope everybody can hear yung ating video.
So I'm joined here by Mike Sansin from Synapse. How easy it is to hack your computer. So this is my personal computer.
So in this attack, we will pretend to be a wireless access point that you normally connect to, let's say in a hotel. So if you go in there and you try to log into something called Four Seasons Guest.
Okay.
As you'd expect, it's the Wi-Fi is around, you'd want to be able to connect to it, and a person who just arrived will think, I'm a guest, I should connect to the guest network.
Sure.
So now if you go to a website that you normally use, like Yelp.com.
Okay.
And normally what happens when you go to a website, just after you've logged into a hotel network, it says, oh, please log in, you're a new user. So here it's asking for your room number and last name, which it would normally do, right? And actually I can see your information show up here. And so part of the attack is that it tries to convince you that you need to do an update. Your machine is out of date and it's vulnerable. So you want to click on the download button because it's sort of convincing you to do this. And once you've executed, that's it. You already have been exploited. I can see it here. It says DT's MacBook. Let's say if I want to take a screenshot of your of your webcam, right?
Okay.
So I have a special command here for essentially accessing your little camera right here. If I say execute, there we go.
I just saw a green light pop up there for a second.
For a second, but now it's already too late. Now I already know what's going on around you.
Oh wow.
There we go. This particular attack, it recorded the picture, but you can actually record the video. You can also record sound if you wanted to.
That's really disrupting.
You can execute things on the behalf. So what I'm going to try to do is actually open the calculator application.
Okay.
There we go.
There's my calculator. It just popped up.
I can basically execute any types of commands I want on your behalf.
So what can people do to protect themselves?
You should sort of be on the lookout for anytime you sort of do an action and then the computer asks you to do something on your behalf. Like, you downloaded something and said, hey, please enter your password. If you didn't expect that to happen, maybe you should kind of stand back a little bit and say, well, does it normally happen when I log into a Wi-Fi access point? Or if you are logging into a network and you didn't expect to be redirected to an update page, you should kind of stand back a little bit and say, actually, I'm not going to download this until I go home and I can trust my Wi-Fi.
Well, thank you so much. Great to see this.
Glad to have the opportunity to hack your machine.
Thanks.
Ay, ma'am, Shine pa.
Yan. And going back to our presentation, so let me share again my screen. So So yun, di ba nakita ninyo na gumamit siya ng device just, actually it's not an eavesdropping, pero gumamit siya ng device to capture yung password ng other computer na dun sa girl na computer. So with that, na-access yung hacker yung kung ano man yung computer. So na-turn on niya yung camera, kumuha siya ng capture from the camera, and then gumawa siya ng, kumbaga, nag-open siya ng application dun sa computer niya, the girl not even knowing na may gumagalaw na palang nagre-remote na dun sa kanyang device. So yun, so pwedeng ma-steal yung mga ganong klaseng activities. They could steal or they could get information, hindi lang mga passwords, but also, kumbaga kunwari, dito, nagko-computer tayo, pwede niya i-turn on yung camera para to see kung sino yung nasa behind nung device na yun. And moving forward, so other cyber threats, so these are the password attack. So may tinatawag tayo mga brute force attack. So it involves running through many combinations of potential passwords necessary to hit the right one. So pag sinabi natin brute force attack, at ito ay trial and error, pero probably sa mga programming students natin, do sa mga computer programmers natin, these are the trial and error. So para lang makuha natin yung password, magta-type tayo ng potential combinations ng mga passwords na yun. Also, under the password attack, these are dictionary attacks. So, when the hacker nakakuha siya ng data, magkakaroon na siya ng dictionary of the common passwords used to attempt to gain access to a user's computer or network. Kaya nga, we suggest that, or we really recommend that when we use our passwords, please do not use the same password dun sa ibang account niyo. Siguro, ibang password for Facebook, ibang password for your email, ibang password for the banking, yung online banking natin, and so forth and so on. Kasi once they have gained yung isang password ninyo na working, they could try it across all of those platforms na. Okay, and number 3, under the password attack, the key logging, it relies on getting a piece of malware on your computer and watches what you're doing and keeps track of what you type and send that information to a hacker. So, I have another video of yung key logging. Present ko rin ulit sa inyo. Excuse me. Just a second. Tignan natin. So, okay. So I hope everybody can see my video.
Social networks, and if you're careless, it becomes very easy to get.
Sorry, hindi pala yan. Hindi pala yan. Sorry. Wait lang po. Ito pala siya. So this video is from Dr. Phil. They have, parang nag-interview sila ng isang cybersecurity expert. And then, please watch the videos kasi nakakatuwa
siya. As a person that doesn't use computers much, do you know that you're not ever supposed to plug in a USB drive that you find on the ground or that someone sends you in the mail, that if when you plug that into your computer, it could install malicious software? Did you know this?
Of course.
Okay, that's great. Well,
No, I didn't know that, but I've never done that. I would never pick something up and plug it in because
a lot of people do.
I would never want to put something in I didn't know what was on the stick.
Yeah, but people go to conferences and there's jars of USB drives and people just usually plug it in and don't think the better. But people have known for years you never do this.
Yeah.
But you have to think about how have hackers evolved in their tradecraft to even do this with something that's so simple that anybody would fall for it. So think about, do you have an iPhone or an Android?
I do.
You do. So you charge it with the cable.
You which.
So you charge the phone, right, with the cable?
Yes, right.
What if I could tell you we could modify that cable so when it's plugged into your computer that we could remotely command the cable to install malware on your computer?
The cable?
The cable itself, and I'm going to show you in a second.
You're talking about a little white?
Yeah, right here. Doesn't that look like an ordinary charging cable to you?
Yeah.
How do you get the cable to the victim? Well, if you have on-site access, you're in a company and you could swap it out. Or we could do what we call a social engineering attack and send a device with a cable, like a new iPhone or a new Pixel 4, and it comes prepackaged in the box. And when you open the box and you take the shrink wrapping off, it looks exactly like it came from factory. But what the target doesn't know is that the cable has been modified. So let me show you actually how it works.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions first?
Yeah, I want to know how this works.
Okay, all right. So we're going to plug this in. What we have here on this white screen, this is the hacker, and this computer is sitting in Virginia. It's not even in this room. So this is the hacker. This here is the victim. This is us. We plugged in the cable, and now what the attacker is going to do is command the cable to install malware, malicious software on the computer, so the hacker has complete control. So this device is a Bluetooth transmitter. I could be, within about 300 feet of the computer. I could push a button on it, and then what's going to happen if you look at the lower left-hand corner of the Windows computer where it says types here to search, in about 5 seconds you're going to see it like magically type. It's going to be a split second, and then what's going to happen over here, we're going to gain control of the computer. So what I want you to do, Phil, is see that A button? You can walk over there back to your chair. See the A?
Sort of.
Yeah, just...
Yeah, it's the bottom one.
Yeah, press the A button. Stop. Okay, and then we should look at the lower left-hand part of the screen. There it goes. That's the malware being injected. And that's it. That's all the victim sees. And I don't see it up
that fast?
That fast.
So right now you're controlling this computer from
Virginia.
Here.
Yeah, I'm connected to a computer in Virginia. This has malware installed now because of the cable, and now I'm able to take full control of this computer as the hacker. So I could go through all the files on the computer. I can turn on the microphone and listen to the conversations in the room. Or what is really scary is I could turn on the victim's webcam, and now I could spy on you.
Mike, ulit ma'am.
Actually, yung mga keyloggers is parang tawag dito, mga USB devices lang siya that you insert on your computers dun sa mga ports natin. And then they record yung mga keystrokes na yan. So, be very wary about inserting yung mga USB cables or mga USB disk drives din natin kasi somehow baka merong mga malware na nakapaloob din sa kanila. So, okay, moving forward. So, paano ba or gaano ba katagal mag-crack yung password kapag simple or complex? So, makita natin dito, we have 7 to 12 characters, and then pagka tawag dito, mga letters lang siya, mabilis lang siya makrap. Like for example, on a 7 character na purely characters lang siya, they could be hacked as fast as 9.5 minutes. But kasi it depends din kasi on the how long is your password. So for dun sa kung 12 characters naman siya na simple lang, it could take 2 centuries and 1 decade to crack your password.
Ma'am
So,
Shine, wala po yata naka-share screen.
okay, sorry. So, okay, going back dun sa ating presentation, I hope everybody can see na. Can you please confirm? Kahit sa chat box na lang. Okay, so yon. On the password, sa password kasi, gaano ba katagal, going back, gaano ba katagal makrack yung yung mga simple versus complex na password. So, makita natin dito on this table, we have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 character numbers. And then yung sa password na to, as makikita ninyo kung characters lang ba siya or alphanumeric na meron may mga special characters. So, for a 7 character password na simple lang siya, it could take as fast as 9.5 to 10 minutes to crack yung mga simple passwords natin na 7 characters. Compared to the simple password na 12 characters siya, it could take as long as 2 centuries to crack yung 12 character passwords natin. So, we usually recommend to use 12 character passwords ngayon. Kasi, usually kasi dati 8 character password lang ang nire-recommend natin. But kung mga simple passwords lang siya, it could take about 4 hours just to crack your 8 character password. If you employ yung alphanumeric plus character, it could take as long as 6 months to crack your password. Pero if you use a 12 character password, ito na yung mga complex password natin, may alphanumeric na rin tayo, it could take 15,000 millennia. So, parang mahihirapan na silang i-crack yung password natin yung kapag 12 characters long at alphanumeric siya. Okay. So, next cyber threat is phishing. Kanina may nagsabi kanina yung ano ba yung weapon of choice ng cyber criminals, phishing. Yes, there are isa yon sa mga weapon of choice ng mga cyber criminals because they trick users into clicking on malicious links or opening unknown attachments. Sa lahat ng mga attacks on the industrial control systems, usually the email is the culprit of the attack. Kasi the employee was parang nag-click siya nung malicious attachment dun sa email. And then, dun na lahat nangyari ang mga attack. And then, naapektuhan na rin, na-compromise na rin yung mga other devices na na-connect dun sa network. So, sometimes, this phishing, they get the personal sensitive data, so, and financial details and passwords. So, these cyber criminals, they get those information for their financial gain. Okay. And then lastly, siguro the DOS and DDoS attack. So this is typically uses one computer, the DOS attack, and one internet connection. And fina-flood niya yung isang system or resource para lang, let's say, kung marami kayong nag-access from that server, hindi kayo makapasok kasi hindi na kapag parang ang bagal ng traffic papunta dun sa kung saan man siya papunta. So the DDoS, it's the distributed denial of service attack. It uses multiple computers and internet connection to flood the target resource. So, usually, pagka yung DDoS, ma-feel mo talaga na mabagal yung connection mo sa ito. Be very worry about that kasi hindi mo alam na ina-attack ka na pala. And this DDoS and DDoS attacks, I think the cyber actors cyber threat actors na gumagamit ng DDoS attacks are the hacktivists. So sila yung madalas na dun sa kanilang profile, sila yung madalas na perform ng mga ganitong activities. So, okay. Moving forward, so I hope nandiyan pa rin kayo. So, cybercrime. Cybercrime is also known as a computer-related crime. It is a crime that involves a computer and a network. So, they may be used for the commissioning of the crime, or maybe this will be yung computer na yun, it may be the target. So, this term was first coined by William Gibson in 1982, popularized in his 1984 novel, Neuromancer. So, pag sinabi nga natin ng mga cybercrime, it involves a lot of yung data, and then para lang makuha for financial gain. Okay. Sana nandiyan pa rin kayo, no? So, ito yung mga top cyber threats in the Philippines during pandemic. Why do we need to present this cyber threats? Kasi, as I've mentioned earlier, mas marami tayong nagtrabaho online. And, syempre, yung activities din ng mga cyber threat actors din natin, nag-level up din sila. Mas lalo nilang kinapitalize na yung mga tao na nag-work sila online. So, these are the top threats in the Philippines during the pandemic. So, may fake news tayo, may social media scam, and may mga phishing threats tayo. So, dun sa fake news, so, we have, tawag dito, the DICT was able to release a advisory on spreading fake news is a crime. So, on the Republic Act 11469, Section 6, it penalized those individual or groups perpetrating or spreading false information regarding COVID crisis. Kasi may mga reports na unverified, and then it causes a lot of chaos, it causes a lot of uncertainties, and nagpapanik yung mga tao, fear of anarchy, may fear, may confusion, and then they take advantage of those situations para magkaroon ng scam, phishing, and fraudulent emails. So we have to assess or give discretion paano natin masusuri yung fake news na yan. So kailangan dapat iba yung common sense and pag-iingat na din. Also, sa social media scam. Okay, so the social media scam, DICT also have provided an advisory. Meron mga practices using the social media account to induce friends and relatives to send money and reveal personal information. So, as much as possible, we parang namin tong mga social media scams na to. So, I have a video kung paano nag-gain yung mga cyber threat actors natin, how they attack using the social media scam. So, siguro, present ko na lang ulit. Okay. So, this is a 5-minute video. So, kasi isang kwento kasi siya na isang taong nagtatrabaho sa office. And marami siyang, kasi siya yung person na oversharer sa mga social media accounts. So hindi niya alam na ito pala yung implication ng mga ginagawa niya by doing, by sharing yung mga kung ano man.
All right, let's check out my new requests. You're okay. Oh, you look good. I gotta have you. Oh, you're fantastic. All right, and this last guy, I don't remember you, but I'll add you anyway. All right, so I've got a bunch of project managers, a few marketing managers, and one account director. And my network is growing like crazy. Soon, my career is gonna take off. Look, you don't believe me? All right, check this out. Do you know who Ron Ferguson is? He added me to his network. Think about it.
I'm Rick Ferguson. No relation to Ron. And certainly no relation to this guy. He's a criminal hiding behind a fake profile to collect valuable information. This is Dave. You may have noticed he's really happy to extend his social network. He's reckless though. He accepts almost every invitation, including Ron's fake one. This is pretty basic stuff. Anyone can do it. Ron's looking through Dave's posts, comments, and photos. You can see where he went to school and who with, who he socializes with, what he does in his free time, even what projects he's working on. Dave's profile is an open book. Ron can see whatever he needs and use it to his advantage. Dave is an attacker's dream. He's almost addicted to sharing every detail of his life with hundreds of strangers. Sound like anyone you know? We all use social networks, and if you're careless, it becomes very easy to gather this much data. Dave might think it's fun sharing everything that he does, but to people like Ron, it's a golden opportunity. They take advantage of your oversharing, and before you know it, they have access to your entire life. And even though you're giving it away for free, you may well end up paying for it. Ron gathers intelligence on an organization through its employees and uses it to his advantage. Right now he's writing an email to Dave's boss with a very interesting proposition. A simple online search has also turned up documents which reveal exactly which version of Office software the target organization is using. Embedding malicious code in his fake spreadsheet is the work of seconds. In fact, there's an app for that. You might think this kind of thing only happens in films. But in reality, most attacks use social engineering, creating a credible pretext to fool the victim into doing something unwise. A momentary lapse of judgment, and Ron has the access that he needed. He moves carefully through the network, searching for more systems and data. This won't be a quick hack. Ron wants long-term access to sensitive data that he can sell on the criminal underground. Maybe it's a credit card database, maybe it's a project in which the company is heavily invested. In the end, it doesn't matter. What matters is that it could have been prevented. Unfortunately for Dave, the investigation discovered his social media posts and followed the trail of evidence that led to the breach. Remember, you're just as responsible for the security of your company's data as you are for your own. Building your social network can of course be valuable, but don't connect with just anyone. Think twice before you post. If you wouldn't be happy shouting it in the middle of a crowded street, then don't post it online. And when you do share, make sure you tightly control the audience. Follow your company's security policies. And of course, be careful of unsolicited messages or content that you receive. Most important of all, just use your head. Don't be a Dave. I'm Rick Ferguson from Trend Micro. Thanks for watching.
So yun, sabi nga dun sa video, don't be a Dave and use your common sense. Sa sobrang pag-overshare ni Dave, kinompromise niya lahat. Nakapasok yung hacker through by the social engineering kasi may nakapost yung password niya, may post-it siya, tapos pinicturean niya yung mga work niya on this, not knowingly na capture din yung post-it dun sa dun sa computer niya. Kaya napasok sila. And then ano yung entry point to hacker na yon is through the email So kaya sila na-compromise. Kaya sabi nga, please practice discretion and don't be a Dave. Yun. So next is going back to the presentation. So yun yung social media scam. So phishing, kanina na-discuss na rin natin to about dun sa phishing na kumukuha sila ng mga information. So there is also an anti-phishing campaign of the Cybersecurity Bureau. Ito ay nakapost sa aming mga social media sites. So fish no more, kapag nakatanggap ka ba ng email galing sa Netflix or sa mga bangko, sa boss mo, sa IT department na opisina mo, sa Lazada or kaya naman sa SSS, marunong ka bang sumuri kung lehitimo ba ito o hindi. So usually, doon sa mga emails, makikita nyo naman, or nagpadala sa'yo ng email, there are a lot of reports na natatanggap ng CERT-PH about doon sa mga phishings, like sa mga banks. So, sa mga emails, may nagpapadala sila na please update your account credentials. Ginagamit nila yung logo ng mga tawag dito, let's say, for example, DTI. Ginagamit nila yung logo ni DTI. Pero once you take a closer look, kung sino man yung nagpadala ng email, titignan nyo yung email then suriin niyo kanino ba galing. Usually, the banks have meron silang official email na ginagamit. And then usually, the banks, when pagka nagkaroon sila ng email announcement, sabihin na this is an auto-generated generated email, please do not reply to it. Mga gano'n. So, let's say, pag sinuri ninyo, tas parang suspicious kayo about dun sa email na natanggap ninyo. Tignan nyo kung saan galing. And then, usually, kunwari, may makikita kayo na hindi naman galing kay bpi.com, pero ang spelling ng domain niya is bpiii.com. So, magkaroon ka na ng hinala na it is a phishing email. As well as when you observe or kung titignan mo closely yung body ng email, look at the yung mga spelling. Kasi if it comes from a company, usually those emails, they eliminate or before they send it, nagpapass siya through several revisions and some eyes na magko-correct ng email na yon for grammar errors, for typographical errors, to make it look professionally sound. So, yun yung mga titignan natin about dun sa mga phishing emails. Okay. So, sometimes, rushing and the lack of awareness makes a setting for a successful attack or cybercrime. So, kunwari, usually sa mga phishing emails na nakikita natin, may nag-send sa'yo o tawag dito, o parang may sale na ganito, please click now because this sale will end in 30 minutes. So usually, dun sa lack of awareness on the person that perform yung mga acts na yon, they have a lack of awareness dun sa mga bagay na yon, and then nirarush ka para to click, para mag-decision ka na ngayon na. So, doon minsan nagiging successful ang mga cyber attack kasi they wanted you to act now. Kung hindi kayo, di ba sa mga ads, act now or you'll miss this deal. So, ganun siya nag-work, ganun yung behavior niya. So, okay. So, how to be cyber safe in the new normal? I think patapos na tayo dito sa ano. So, these are some of the tips na how to be cyber safe. So, sabi nga natin, number 1, backup. So, yung backup natin na to is kailangan marunong tayong mag-backup ng files. Just like the yung ransomware attack nga kanina na I've mentioned yung dun sa bank. Kaya sila naka-recover is because may backup sila. So tayo bilang individuals, we have to we have to parang mag-invest tayo dun sa mga peripherals like yung mga external hard drive, and mag-invest tayo dun sa ano. And then usually kailangan din maging aware din tayo dun, lalo na sa mga libre. Sabi nga natin, parang if it is free, probably it is not free kasi merong kapalit yun na instance or situation na hindi mo natin gugustuhin. So as might as well you invest on those peripherals. So sabi nga backup na naman. So I heard you like backup, so we back up your backup. So doon sa backup rule, we have the 3-2-1 rule. Get 3 copies, then you store it to two locations, and then you keep one for yourself. So yun yung mga parang 3-2-1 backup rule natin. Number 2, please do secure browsing. Paano ba tayo gumagawa ng secure browsing? So let's say sa mga banking, online banking natin, please use yung the S protocol to be able to para lang magkaroon tayo ng encryption dun sa magiging transactions natin online. Okay? And then probably you use a VPN. There are a lot of VPNs na nagkalat dyan, pero this is to protect kasi the VPN is parang mas siya dun sa frequent traveler na let's say from one country to another, just to protect your data, your information, you use VPN para hindi ka masisniff ng mga attackers from kung saan mga siyang location. So if you can invest with VPN, that will be great as well. Also, use antivirus. Marami tayong antivirus dyan. Sa Windows, we have the Windows Defender. Ang sabi nga natin is if we cannot, let's say, may nagtanong kasi, ano ba yung pinakamagandang antivirus? Ang sagot namin dyan is kung ano man yung meron ka ngayon, yan yung maganda. Pero please, make sure naman to patch yung mga antivirus ninyo kasi baka mamaya, mga old, matagal na yung mga patches niyan. Siguro, at least, mga 2019 pa yan. So, syempre, yung mga patches na yun, hindi na makakatch yung mga attacks from the 2020 or 2021. So, use antivirus. If you can invest for an antivirus, okay din. But if you do not have, kung mga Windows user kayo, pwede natin gamitin yung Windows Defender. At least may some level or some layer of protection tayo. from that. So kaya gamitin lang natin siya. Also, siguro this is for the companies. So gumagamit sila ng firewalls to be able to filter out yung mga excuse me to filter out yung mga unwanted attacks. At least man lang hindi sila makakatagos dun sa the other side of the network. So it's a good idea as well. And then also we have mentioned earlier that use strong password as much as possible. We try to use the alphanumeric at a minimum of 12-character alphanumeric characters na password natin. Kasi nakita nga natin doon sa chart natin kanina is doon sa gaano siya kabilis ma-track. So it could take around 15,000 millennias. So yun po. So sabi dito, so use strong password. Sorry, but your password must contain an uppercase, lowercase, a number, a haiku, a hieroglyph, and the blood of the unicorn. Siyempre, joke lang to, pero tawag dito. As much as possible, kailangan hirapan natin siya ng, hirapan natin yung mga passwords. Sabi ko nga, please use a different password to every parang platform or account ninyo. Kasi once the hacker was able to crack yung sa Facebook ninyo and then pares pala kayo dun sa email, mapapasok niya na lahat yan. So, please make sure to use yung passwords for different kinds of the account. And then, number 8. I think this is number 8. So, number 7 pala. So, secure your devices. So, kanina, I've shown you na yung mga USB, kahit yung mga charging cables natin, they could be infected with malware. So please be careful in inserting or plugging those peripherals to your devices. Hindi natin alam, baka may mga malware na yan. Lalo na yung sa mga libreng USB. So not because libre siya, 16 gig, 32 gig, 64. Basta-basta na lang natin ipa-plug yung USB na yun dun sa computer natin. We never know that baka malware yan. And dun kasi sa I have attended yung ICS training for Indo-Pacific region. So one of the case study that we parang inaral namin, one of the case study is that na-infect yung buong IT and OT system niya because yung employee is nakapulot siya ng USB na pinlog niya dun sa device niya. So lahat yon on the OT side, on the operation technology, on the IT side, na-infect lahat yon. So kasalanan, actually this, kahit mag-employ ka ng maraming technology, pero the weakest link is yung human nga. So yun. And then now letter B, don't mindlessly install third parties app directly from the internet. So as I've mentioned dun sa aming sa isang webinar that I also gave last February. So the webinar is for the safe gaming experience. So usually these third-party apps, hindi mo alam kung ano yung source niya. They could be also a source of parang phishing attacks. And then titignan mo din kung saan ba siya galing. So kung sa official store ba siya. Kung sa official store, tignan mo yung mga ratings niya. Kung okay ba siya. Kasi usually, kung pangit yung rating, malamang parang it's a trash ba. And then, na letter C, don't forget to patch your operating system. So, kailangan dapat ina-update natin yung mga operating system natin. Kung may available update, agad, let's update it para yung mga attacks, moving forward, yung mga attacks na yun, makakatch niya na. Kasi, kumbaga na-prepare mo na yung sarili mo or na-prepare mo na yung device mo to handle those suspicious activities, those suspicious processes dun sa device niyo. And letter D, also be mindful in connecting to free public Wi-Fi networks. Kanina nga, di ba, I showed you yung kumonect siya dun sa isang device na akala niya is tawag dito, akala niya parang basta free lang siya. Pero lo and behold, nakuha niya na yung mga credentials niya, and then nakakuha siya ng remote access dun sa kanyang computer. So be mindful in connecting to free public Wi-Fi networks. Also, number 8, secure your online account. So, babalik ulit tayo dun sa mga passwords natin. Sa mga social media accounts natin. And also, siguro sa emails as well, sometimes we can employ or we have to employ yung two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication. So, how does it work? Yung two-factor, parang pagka enable mo siya, pwede siya mag-text ng code sa cellphone mo. Pwede mong i-link yung authenticator, parang PIN authenticator, dun sa sa phone mo, or let's say kunwari you're accessing your email to another device, and then tawag dito, before makapasok ka dun sa device na yon, may mag-alert dun sa cellphone mo na are you your device is being accessed at this point. Makikita mo yung IP address niya at saka yung location niya. So at least malalaman mo or magiging aware ka na tawag dito yung mga activities mo din online. So may pumapasok ba, sinusubukan bang pumasok dun sa account mo. So nagno-notify, maraming siyang notification na pinapadala, whether it's from the text message or from the cellphone or yung dun sa authenticator app mo. So yun po. Also, only add people that you know. Kanina dun sa video na pinakita ko is that add lang siya ng add kung sino yung mga friends niya. Not knowingly, yung na-add niya is an hacker. So, wala siyang pakialam kasi ang gusto lang niya is to expand his network of friends sa Facebook. So, in-add lang niya ng in-add, pero may na-add pala siyang tawag dito, parang suspicious person. And then, siguro one tip, letter C, do not do ATM. Kung may pera naman kayo sa ATM, walang problema naman dito. You can withdraw your money. And what I mean, those ATM is yung at the moment. So, let's say, for example, nagpunta ka sa isang bakasyon. At the moment, nandito ka nag-enjoy, nakasakay sa roller coaster. Ganun. So, nagkakaroon din kasi ng idea yung mga hackers kung ano yung nagiging activity mo beside yung ano. So, probably siguro kung isa kang celebrity, pwede rin mag-post ng threat yun sa'yo. Let's say, for example, boy, si ganito, kunwari, umalis ako ng bahay. At the moment, nandito ako sa opisina. Tapos, yung pala, yung mga robbers, nakita nila, pwede nilang pasukin yung bahay ko kasi alam nila, wala ako dun sa bahay namin. So, as much as possible, do not do at the moment postings. Okay. Privacy and decency. So, the privacy and decency, this falls under yung etiquette natin dun sa when we do the social media. So, what do we mean by the decency? So, most of the time, di ba, sa mga TikTok, marami nagsasayaw. Pero sometimes, hindi na decent yung mga pinapakita nila. They show some skin, and tawag dito, parang nagiging ano na siya tabu na yung ano niya. So if you wanted lang, do not post it as a public post. If you wanted to share that with other people, no close lang sa'yo, you may do so, let's say sa Facebook, you may do so na it can only be shown to your friends or to this group of friends or for family, gano'n. So, para lang din, kasi maraming nakaka-catfish doon sa mga, ano na yan, sa mga ganong klaseng activities. If you, siguro kung nanonood kayo ng Netflix, I forgot The Circle, yeah, yun, The Circle. Kung nanonood kayo ng Netflix yung The Circle, meron silang experiment, parang PBB house siya. Pero hindi sila, kumbaga, pupunta lang sila dun sa isang apartment. Tapos makikipag-interact siya using the circle, yung social media nila. So, sometimes may mga contestant doon na nagka-catfish lang. So, they're posing as female, pero in reality, lalaki sila. So yun yung mga para to avoid lang those kind of problems in the future. Also, awareness and attitude of trust. So, kailangan dapat maging aware tayo, as I presented nga, mga cyber threats and cyber threat actors. At least we have an idea on how to protect ourselves. And also, yung attitude of distrust, sabi ka natin kanina, di ba, pagka merong nag-friend sa'yo through the Facebook, you have to exercise caution on them. Make a little research. Let's say, for example, may nag-add friends sa'yo, wala naman kayong common friends. So, kung pagka parang, tawag dito, baka kasi mag-isa siya sa mga cyber criminals natin. They would like to take control of your identity online. So, check nyo lang kung sino correct. Tawag dito, if you have 10 or more friends, probably magkakalala. May some circle of friends na kayo of some sort. So, pagka wala, yun, mag-research kayo. And then, number 11, I think this is very important, no? If you experience those kind of attacks or threats, report and ask help from the authorities. So, these are the points of contact. I would like to ask everyone to please get a screenshot of this, yung mga cyber complaint points of contact natin. Doon pwede natin silang i-report dun sa mga offices na yan. So, meron tayong Philippine National Police Anti-Cybercrime Group, also the NBI, Department of Justice, the National Privacy Commission for privacy-related cases or related cases. So may National Privacy Commission tayo. And then also the DICT National Computer Emergency Response Team, the CERT-PH. We also, you can also report them yung mga threats na nakuha natin. So with that, let me end this by saying this saying by Newton Lee: as the world increasingly interconnected, everyone share the responsibility of securing the cyberspace. Kasi it's a joint effort of everybody. Kumbaga kasi the less we can protect ourselves, the more we can protect ourselves, the more we are secure. So, kailangan dapat lahat maging protektado. And also, cybersecurity is not expensive compared to the cost of having a cyber.
Na-mute ka, Ma'am Shine.
Okay, so the cybersecurity is not an expensive compared to the cost of cyber attack. So,
Ma'am, na-mute po.
it's a small amount para dun sa makukuha nila from us. So, that's it. Thank you very Okay, that's it. This is the end of my presentation. If you would please connect with us. These are
Ma'am, naka-mute po.
okay. Ba't ganun? Wala, na-attack na tayo. So these are Facebook pages. So you may like yung aming Facebook page, yung cybersec.gov.ph. We also have Twitter and we also have the YouTube accounts. So yun lang po. Thank you very much. And I hope meron kayong natutunan kahit paano dun sa mahaba kong presentation. And God bless po sa inyo. Keep safe po.
Thank you so much, Engineer Sinag, for that very meaningful and informative session. And yeah, inaasahan po natin ang lahat na meron mga natutunan, may mga takeaways sa session na to. Ako, I would like to share yung 3-2-1, tapos yung isang shinare kanina ni Ma'am na quote saying the first step in protecting yourself in cyberspace is to know what you are protecting yourself from. And I hope also the other participants have their own takeaways po sa session na ito. Thank you so much po sa napaka-meaningful po na learning session. And bigyan mo na po natin ng konting chance si Ma'am na para makapag-catch konti ng breath pa, dahil doon sa naging discussion. We encourage you guys to please send in your questions. Pinadala kanina sa comment section ng ating live stream tsaka Google Meet yung form. Please send in your questions para po maipadala natin. Ma'am, kanina may nagtanong, okay lang po ba daw na i-share natin yung PowerPoint presentation or magpo-provide po tayo ng other resources po?
Yes, okay lang naman na we'll send it to JR Chico para siya na yung bahalang mag-distribute sa inyong lahat.
Yes po. Thank you po, ma'am. Now, let's go po sa ating mga questions. Meron po tayong mga nakuhang questions kanina. Ma'am, yung una po is, what are the information that we need to know to oversee cyber risk? Sabi nung tanong, what are the informations or siguro po dito, essential informations that we need to know to oversee cyber risks?
Okay. So, I'm not sure if I get the question correct, pero doon sa mga information, yung mga sa cyber risk, I've already presented yung mga paano nag-ooperate yung mga cyber threat actors natin and what to avoid. Siguro for us individuals, we have to practice lang din discretion dun sa mga emails na natatanggap natin, sa mga friend requests na natatanggap din natin. Because kung hindi tayo magpa-practice ng discretion, papapasukin lang natin sila na papapasukin on our lives. So, I think I answered the question satisfactorily. Yun yung mga risks na kailangan natin malaman. So, po.
Yeah. I also agree dun sa sinabi ni Ma'am na we have to be familiar dun sa iba't ibang klase ng threat so that we know what to do when we experience those kinds of threats, no? Halimbawa, may malware, yung phishing, para alam din natin paano natin siya i-avoid. Ma'am, meron pa tayong question dito. Sabi dito, what is the purpose of being knowledgeable about cybersecurity? Siguro po ang context nitong tanong na to is pag naging knowledgeable ba sa cybersecurity, ano yung mga advantages as papunta na siguro to sa professional field or as a student? Meron po, ma'am.
Okay. Siguro on the professional field, very lucrative ang pagiging cybersecurity expert nowadays. You can be employed everywhere. Kasi some companies or even the government, they would like to have yung cybersecurity experts. Kasi the more systems that we purchase, we use, the more security that we have to get in place. So there are several professions. Siguro I would like to encourage everybody, lalo na sa mga technical courses natin, na get your skills. Siguro tawag dito yung mga web development. Doon kasi nagsisimula yun eh. Kasi usually these attacks, they infiltrate yung mga web pages natin. So doon pa lang at least mapapractice na kung paano ninyo ma-secure yung website nyo, na maiwasan natin yung defacement ng website. Also, kung kunwari, let's say you wanted a career in the operation technology or yung mga industrial control system, kailangan dapat maging familiar kayo sa mga programming languages like Python. So kasi yan yung mga tawag dito, yun yung pinaka hindi naman default, pero the popular na ginagamit natin for programming, let's say, sa system or sa SCADA or sa mga controllers natin, yun yung pinaka-popular na language na ginagamit natin. What else pa? So, siguro yun lang muna, yun lang kasi yung maisip ko nga sa ngayon. Pero maraming opportunities when it comes sa cybersecurity. Probably siguro kahit sa mga hindi technical, mag-aral kayo ng law kasi somehow, kasi hindi lang kasi technically yung natin. There are some cases that we have to appear sa court to be able to present yung mga evidences ng mga cyber attacks na to. So meron ding mga implications din na tawag dito doon sa area naman na yon. So yun. Yun lang ang sabi ko sa ngayon.
Thank you, ma'am. Siguro pa meron last question po. Siguro hindi na to question, ma'am, kasi marami tayong participants na mga estudyante. As a professional dito sa field na to, what is your advice? What are the skills that they need to develop? What are the things that they need to know? Kung ini-aim nila 3 years, 4 years from now, maging cybersecurity specialist din sila, or mapunta sila sa field kung saan ito yung magiging forte nila someday. What are your advices? What are the things that they need to know or the skills that they need to have?
Siguro, personally, siguro you have to stay hungry dun sa kailangan may interest ka, may passion ka on those things, yung sa cybersecurity, the incident response team. Also, hindi lang naman technically yun yung on the management side naman din. You have to know the business operations of your company. So, let's say, kunwari, you graduate ka na, and then you are a fresh grad, nag-apply ka ng trabaho, natanggap ka naman. Kahit magsimula ka dun sa the entry level itself, make sure mo sa sarili mo na you have the passion to analyze these things, and kailangan dapat aralin mo yung business operations, how things work around the your businesses, ano yung maaapektuhan just in case that you, let's say, kunwari, on the management side, no? Kunwari si HR, wala siyang policy, ano yung maaapektuhan doon? Kung sa technology naman, ano yung maaapektuhan kapag nawala ang ganito? So, kailangan dapat, maging hungry ka sa information, aralin mo siyang lahat. Kasi, during that time, kasi kung papasok ka sa incident response sa mga cert natin, tinitignan nila kung ano yung kailangan nila i-prioritize once that the attacks have been, nagkaroon tayo ng attacks. So, there are several prioritizations. Titignan niya kung ano yung parang pinaka-critical, ano yung hindi talaga pwedeng mawala, at ano yung pwedeng ipagpaliban niya. So, more of sa business operations, kailangan dapat, yung, hindi naman all-knowing, pero we have to be familiarized dun sa buong proseso, sa buong system. So, siguro yun lang yung advice na masasabi ko sa iyo. Hindi lang naman sa loob ng organization, as well as kung sino yung ma-i-interact ninyo, yung ating external, let's say yung external stakeholders like our clients, our clients, our vendors, our suppliers. So, yun talaga yung parang kailangan dapat you have a big mindset dun sa organization. Kumbaga parang siguro ang ko na lang is dapat matuto kang mahalin yung kung ano man yung trabaho mo at matuto kang mahalin yung kumpanya na nagpapakain sa'yo. So yun lang yung masasabi ko po sa inyo.
Thank you, ma'am. So yung keyword na binigay ni ma'am doon is stay hungry for new knowledge, no? Tsaka maging passionate kayo kung talagang in-aim natin yun. Ang galing, no? Aside from the fact that we raise awareness about cybersecurity, we also motivate, especially our participants na mga students, to really get themselves involved and learn more about cybersecurity. Kaya ang ganda nung session natin, very meaningful, very productive, at maraming salamat po ma'am sa oras po na binigay ninyo ngayong hapon na ito. Thank you very much po. And also we would like to thank our participants from the different parts of the country. Maraming salamat po. At this juncture, since we have come to our last part for this webinar, let's proceed with the closing remarks. To give us a message for the closing remarks, we now call on the head of the NEUST Learning and Development Resource Innovation Center and the unit head of the College of Information and Communications Technology for training, Ma'am Ruth Ann G. Santos.
Thank you so much, Sir Chris. So this has been a very informative and meaningful afternoon for all of us. So allow me to thank the people behind this activity. Of course, our University Student Government President. Thank you so much for the support, Sir Raymond, and Sir Neil of the training, and Ma'am Abik of Extension, of course, our BPRET, Dr. Rachel Moralde, and our University President, Dr. Engineer Feliciana Jacoba. Also, it is my great opportunity to express our gratitude to our partner, to the DICT, to Sir C, Engineer Rinaldo C, and of course si Ma'am Sinag, Ma'am Shine, thank you po. And of course, ito yung napakasisipag natin, we have Sir Carlo and Sir Jay. Thank you so much in behalf of the NEUST po. We would like to express our thanks not only for providing the IT infrastructure needs of the community, but as well as educating community into a secure digital environment. So, ang take it away ko naman po, sabi nga, it takes many years to build a reputation and few minutes of cyber incident to ruin it. So, use our heads, sabi nga kanina ni Ma'am Shine, think before you post, use your discretion, better secure than sorry. And of course, always remember that cybersecurity is personal responsibility. So thank you so much, everyone, and be safe. God bless you all. Thank you, DICT.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Ruth Ann. Now let's hear another message from the Provincial Engineer of DICT Nueva Ecija. Let's all welcome Engineer Roland Carlo Tolentino. Sir?
Thank you, Sir Chris. Carlo na lang, sir, para first of all, I would like to acknowledge po and extend yung gratitude namin kay Ma'am Sinag po. Ma'am Sinag, maraming salamat po. You've always been hands-on po pagdating sa Nueva Ecija ever since. Maraming salamat, ma'am, for taking the time po para dito sa ating session. Then also, we'd like to extend our gratitude po sa NEUST, sa ating partner po sa napakaraming project ni DICT. Kay Ma'am Ruth, kay Sir Chris, kay Sir Raymond. Thank you so much, sir, sa success po ng ating webinar. Hopefully, in the future, marami pa tayong project, sir, na mapagsamahan para bigay natin sa ating mga kababayan sa Nueva Ecija po. Siguro just to close, I would like to remind and encourage everyone lang na umattend po dito sa webinar natin na always be mindful and be wary doon sa paggamit natin, sa pag-consume natin ng internet. Gaya nga po ng mga materials and then mga examples kanina na naibigay ni Ma'am Sinag, napakarami talagang mga threats na pwede nating ma-encounter sa cybersecurity threat. So as part of DICT, the main promoting body po ng government, ng promoting body ng advocate ng cybersecurity awareness po, we encourage and we remind everyone to not just be an internet consumer but to be a safe and responsible internet consumer po. Sabi nga din po kanina na yung security po natin magsisimula sa bawat isa. So with that po, sana ma-practice natin after this session yung mga natakil natin. I believe very supplemental naman po yung mga materials na ibinigay. Yun lang po. Thank you po, lalo dun sa mga participants po natin na nakapag-join today. And keep safe po to everyone.
Thank you, Sir Carlo. At this juncture po, we will be giving you some guidelines on how you'll have your certificate po. Wait, i-share lang po. Yan, certificates po will be provided to those of you who have attended the full duration of the webinar and answered the post-evaluation form. So please input a valid and active email address, and cut-off time po natin would be tomorrow at 4 p.m. and you can catch the replay at the DICT YouTube channel. Tapos po, yung link para po sa attendance, ito po, naka-flash na po. Make sure po na sign po kayo ng attendance kanina. And for the post-evaluation form naman po, ito po yung link. Please access the link na share din po doon sa ating chat box para po makapag-evaluate po kayo ng ating session today. Likewise, please follow the following pages po on Facebook, the DICT page, also the DICT Luzon Cluster 2 page, the DICT Nueva Ecija Facebook page, the NEUST official Facebook page, and the DICT Cybersecurity Luzon Cluster 2 Facebook official page. Before we end, we would like to give you a quote. As the world is increasingly interconnected, everyone shares the responsibility of securing cyberspace. Friends, bago po tayo umalis, may I request everyone to please turn on your camera for a photo opportunity para po makuhanan po natin ng picture yung mga participants po.
I think marami-raming page to, sir, kasi blockbuster tayo this session.
Patulong na lang.
Nag-peak tayo kanina mga around 101 mga 104 participants.
pa-end na lang po nung share screen. Tapos,
sige po. Ipa-end natin kay Sir JR.
Ma'am Ruth, pwede po patulong po nung
Sure
hindi ko
po,
po
sure,
makita.
sir.
Thank you po.
Okay po.
Sir J, pa-stop nga po nung ano.
Stop lang po natin yung share screen. Muli po, nagpapasalamat po kami sa inyong pagdalo. Ganun din po kanina sa ating YouTube live stream, Blockbuster din po dito din sa ating Google Meet. Antayin lang po nating mag-end po yung...
Okay lang daw pala sir, kahit hindi na po i-end. Para may ano. Tapos,
okay po. Sige
next na lang yung ano, since maraming page tong yung tile natin.
Hindi ako makapag-next ng ano tile. Sige, tignan ko po.
Yan.
Sige po.
Yan. So, yung iba po, kung ano po, kung pwede i-open. Safe naman po ito. Yung instance na to.
Ay, sigurado ba naka-ano ko dito?
Secured naman po itong session natin.
Sige po. Smile po. Ma'am Ruth, patulong na lang din po. Smile everyone. Thank you. 1, 2. Wait lang po.
Ayan, may nag-open pa atang iba sir.
Sige po.
Yan, sige.
Check ko lang po yung layout. Saglit lang po Kumukuha din po si Ma'am Ruth ng screenshot natin para madami-dami. Smile lang po. Lang po ako. Okay ka na, Ma'am Ruth? Okay na po sa'yo?
Okay na, sir. Isa kaya tayo ng ano, picture na picture. Anyways, thank you.
Isa na lang sa akin.
Okay.
Okay na po. Muli po, thank you so much po sa inyong oras. Please take care everyone. God bless po. Maraming salamat po. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Ma'am Shine. Ingat po kayo dyan.
Thank you po.
Sir Carlo.
Thank
you.
Thank you din
Sir
po.
Jay, thank you
Salamat
po.
sa inyo.
Thank you po.
Ingat
Sir
po kayo
Chris.
dyan.
Salamat po. Until ano po ma'am, our next project po.
Yes, sir.
Sige.
Surely ma'am, madami pa yan.
Cybersecurity, nakasuporta ko sa inyo.
Marami pa tayo.
Thank you, Ma'am Shine. Talagang sobrang special pagtaga. Nueva Ecija. We love you, Ma'am Shine.
Ayaw magsawa sa amin ma'am.
Of course, Sir Carlo. Thank you, Sir Carlo. Sir Jay, thank you po. Sir
Salamat po,
Chris.
Sir Chris, Ma'am Ruth. Ingat po, ingat po.
God bless all. God bless po. Bye-bye po.
Thank you, Ma'am Shine.